ladies and gentlemen, it is pro wrestling's giant personality, the height of independent wrestling, Mr. Larger Than Life, big time Ethan Higher, and you're watching the Final Count podcast.
This is Mega Mondo, and you're Mega listening and Mega watching the Final Count podcast. Yeah!
This is former WWE and TNA Impact superstar Mike Knox, a.k.a. Nux. You are listening to the Final Count. Keep it tuned. Hey everybody, Anthony Corelli here, formerly known as Santino Morella. And you are listening to the Final Count.
This is former WWE superstar Victor, and you are listening to the Final Count.
Hi everybody, my name's Berto, and this is my service animal, Hippo, with our good friend Eric. And you're here listening and watching the Final Count podcast. Yay!
Hey, it's Eric Orris, voice of the Valley from OVW, and you're checking out the Final Count. Citizens, this is Super Z, and you're watching the Final Count.
Welcome to the Final Count. Here is your host, Rymode Mosley, and your co-host, the 502 Ace, Bryan Dixon.
What's up? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Final Count podcast. I am back. I had a lot of things going on, but I am back. As you see, I'm here by myself, of course, because Rymode don't know how to show up on time or anything like that. But I brought it upon myself to bring a friend of mine that I've known for a long time, somebody that I get along with, because I don't get along with a lot of people. So, without further ado, this is the Loudmouth, the Loose Cannon, John Clark.
What's up?
What's going on?
I am the Loudmouth Loose Cannon, John Clark, and thank you for tuning in to the Final Count. How about that one?
That was great. That was great. And of course, you see, Rymode's still missing.
That's crazy. He asked
Wait.
me
Why is my stuff playing? Whoa. No. Me and Chris use it. Are you kidding? No. Cut it.
What?
Cut it. That is mine and Chris's stuff. Why are you stealing it?
Yeah,
You're 2 minutes late, sir.
You know what? You and Chris are not the only ones that have seen the lights of the revolution.
I thought it was wild. He was the one that wanted me to get on the show, and then he was late.
Hey,
You see,
it's happened to me the last 3 times, so.
I myself have joined and seen the light of the revolution. So this podcast, the Final Count, is now revolutionary.
And I'm going to quote Lizzo real quick. It's about damn time.
Yes, it is.
So all you three are part of the revolution?
That's right.
This is correct. Yes, this is correct.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. It's interesting. I went up to OVW not too long ago and watched an episode, and I think it was the week before Halloween. And that's the first time I've seen Doug Basham in a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do y'all remember when Revolution was a thing back in the day? Ryan,
Yeah.
I figured you would know because, Brian, you did you go over to Jeffersonville, or were you just at the old Shep location for OVW?
I didn't go when they was, when they first was in.
Back in the
Jeffersonville.
Damager and all
Yeah.
that. Okay. Yeah, because that's when the Revolution with not Nick Dinsmore. Why did I screw that up? Doug and Danny back
Yeah, Doug and Danny.
I give. Yeah, well, he wasn't. Danny. He was the Damager.
The Damager. Yeah, the Damager.
Yeah, yeah. So it was cool to see that callback.
Yes, exactly. And I'll tell you what, when the Revolution storyline, the new Revolution storyline first started in OVW, I said Doug's got to be the one behind this. There was attacks on different people. There's masked men coming out from the side doors of Davis Arena, and or Hotpoint Davis Arena, as it's now known as. And I was like, Doug's got to be behind this. It makes sense. It only makes sense for Doug Basham to be behind this, being he was the leader of the OG Revolution. So yeah. With that being said, John, it is great to have you on and filling in for Chris.
Appreciate it.
Excited about this.
Yes.
You know, we've both known you for a long, long time. I probably, maybe not to brag, but I might have.
You probably know him longer, but
I feel like, Ryan, I feel like you've known me a lot longer than Brian.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's great to catch up and talk wrestling. And that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, we got also at the end of the episode this week, we have a major announcement on a OVW superstar coming on next month. So stay tuned till the end of the episode for that.
That's good.
That will be a Facebook Live, so stay tuned. We're gonna jump right into this and talk about last week's SmackDown. So SmackDown kicked off with Cody Rhodes. He came to the ring. He's demanding Kevin Owens get the beatdown that he deserves after learning that Kevin had been suspended indefinitely for hitting Randy Orton with an illegal pile driver. The American Nightmare came out to the ring and he asked for General Manager Nick Aldis to reconsider. So they essentially, Nick was like, hey, next week you can have a face-to-face. So hot kickoff to SmackDown. What do y'all think about Owens and bringing the pile driver back?
I'm trying to figure out how to word this because I do think it's a very dangerous move, but if done right, it's not dangerous. I mean, we all seen how that almost ended Steve Austin's career through Owen Hart. And I mean, accidents happen, and it's unfortunate. And I don't know if it's completely storyline or what, but it's unfortunate what was going on with Randy Orton. Like, I hope that's not true, but I hate to see Randy Orton because it's a career-ending injury what he has if it is legit and not storyline. I honestly, if it makes sense, a pile driver always works. If it makes sense. And you can't just do moves just to do moves. Right. I'm a psychology guy. I love psychology. But I mean, you watch certain product, and I watched a wrestling match a couple years ago. A guy did a pile driver off of a ladder, and then pops right back up and no sales. And I was like, "You're you're crazy."
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're going to do a pile driver, that needs to be the end.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
I agree with Johnson, man. I think the feud, like, if they give us a Cody and KO feud, I think it's going to be a great feud. And hopefully we get like that very heelish Kevin Owens from like the NXT days, like the prize fighter. Like I've been saying for a few weeks, few months, like.
Exactly.
I don't think I answered your question fairly either. I was focusing on the maneuver and not
Yeah.
Your question was, do you think it's a good? Honestly, I think anything that Cody Rhodes is doing right now is dead in the water.
Yeah.
He's better at chasing the championship. He is not a good champion.
Yeah.
Finishing the story. What story did he finish? Every wrestler's story.
Yeah.
He was in the WWE. He got fired. He went to the independents. He rebuilt himself. And then, I mean, almost every program, or not, well, program, but every segment, it's about his dad. Like, further yourself away from your father. Stop. Nepotism is annoying. And I think he's a great wrestler, but I just he has nobody to go against. Kevin Owens is great, but I mean, like, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton have now become the break glass in case of an emergency. They throw them in at everything, and since Cody doesn't have anything, oh well, now we need you to be heel, Kevin Owens.
100%. Yeah.
It's annoying.
Those are valid points. Like, I think people don't think about that. Like, they need to build up stars that are viable for Cody to defend against. Like you said, the chase is more interesting than what Cody has going on right now. I love Cody. Don't get me wrong, I love Cody, but I completely agree with that. I didn't think about that before, but it makes complete sense. Like the chase. That's like you said, with every wrestler's dream is to be that WWE champion, or be that main champion in that whatever promotion you're in, but especially WWE. And so, a great point right there. Then we have Bayley, and these matches are not in order. So we have Bayley defeated B-Fab and Candice LeRae in the Women's United States title tournament. It was a triple threat match. LeRae, the WWE Women's Speed Champion, came out blazing and taking out the role model and B-Fab using her innovative offense. It wasn't long before WWE Women's Champion rejoined the fray, but B-Fab, former WWE Women's Champion, joined the fray. But B-Fab showed resilience and stayed in the fight. After getting hit with a flying elbow, all three superstars continued to battle, but Bayley stacked up B-Fab long enough to score the pinfall and move one step closer to winning the gold. So could Bayley be the first ever WWE Women's United States Champion? Yes, time to tell.
I've seen a lot of people saying that Mi Chen needs to be, or Mia Yim, whatever you want to call her. I think Mi Chen's freaking stupid, but anyways, everybody's been saying she needs to be the one to win the Women's United States Championship.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
It would establish another star. And I understand why they'll put it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take over your show, man.
Go for it.
Good. You're good.
I understand the reason why if they do put it on Bayley, because Bayley does have star power, and Bayley is a workhorse. I may not agree with a lot of her matches. I may not be a huge fan of hers. But I do give credit where credit is due. And I think that would be the reason why they would give it to Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, they do need to give it to Mi Chen or Mia Yim and build a viable champion or someone that could also potentially wrestle for the women's title. It's something they need to do.
No, again, good point, because like you both said, they need to build up stars. They need to build up more than just Bayley or Charlotte whenever she returns, or Naomi. How many times have we seen all these people get recycled? Same with the men's, like the WWE title.
No, 100%.
I mean, we have the United States Championship, or we have the United States champion. LA Knight defeated Berto. I don't know why it said Berto. Humberto. Yeah, that's right.
Humberto.
Legado del Fantasma's Humberto answered LA Knight's open challenge, but he fell to the megastar in front of a raucous Milwaukee crowd. Humberto shined early, but Knight rallied with some encouragement from the crowd and never looked back. The champion had the challenger right where he wanted him, and after an elbow drop, Knight hit the BFT and to retain his title and celebrate with his adoring fans. Following this match, we had an attack from Shinsuke Nakamura, who would return. And so it looks like Shinsuke's going after LA Knight here.
He's not just back; he's back as a heel too.
Oh, dude!
So I hope they let him run with this like hardcore.
Yeah, this new persona that he has, I'm digging it. It's very mystique.
Yeah, it's like a dark mystique out, dark type of character. Yeah, I like it. I love it.
I enjoy it.
Then we have Bronson Reed. We have Bronson Reed joined the Bloodline to destroy Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and the Usos, the OG Bloodline. When Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and the Usos emerged to come face-to-face with Solo Sikoa ahead of the Survivor Series War Games, the new Bloodline and Big Bronson Reed launched a surprise attack.
The Temu Bloodline, you mean?
The Temu Bloodline. In the words of Chris.
Say what you will. I am an OG day one, but this new 2.0 or whatever you want to call it have some hitters on it. And I will say Solo has finally come into himself.
Right.
And I love it. It's so good. The only person they need to get rid of or knock some sense into is Teo.
Who again?
I said Teo, didn't I? Now I can't even think of his name. Tonga Lau.
Tonga Loa.
Lua. Yeah, like when he was Gorillas of Destiny, man, he wasn't such a sloppy goofball. But then I've watched some stuff where I've seen clips of him in New Japan, and I'm just like, wait. Oh, and TNA when he was a Mexican. Like, yeah. But I think that is the weakest link now in the new Bloodline. But no one seen Bronson Reed coming and joining the new Bloodline, which I think is sick because he is Samoan.
Mm-hmm.
But he is not related to the Bloodline, which, whatever.
Right. It's like, go figure.
I mean, the next, I think who's going to join the OG Bloodline is Samoa Joe because he's Samoan.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on AEW, but I mean, that's as much sense as it makes,
Right.
But I like the fact that Bronson's getting recognition. He's getting his flowers. I think it was a great addition to 2.0.
I want to see it. I want to see a run from Jacob Fatu by itself. Like,
yes,
give me that.
We ain't ready, bro. We ain't ready.
WWE's not ready for that. Like, if you watch the shit on MLW,
let them cook. Let them cook. It'll get
let
there.
him cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We'll go ahead. No, what I was going to say, they pulled the trigger too quick on having him join the OG Bloodline. And their fear was right. He would overshadow Solo.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think by him doing that, Solo stepped up. And Solo is now... Because at first I just thought he was a corny, like Toomey or Toomey or whatever version. But now I think they're viable. What's wrong, Jim?
Definitely. definitely viable. For sure. I mean, I'm interested in this War Games match. I'm like fully invested in it.
I'm ready to see what they all do in the cage, man. Like that's going to be one hell of a match.
Yeah.
Even for the women, though.
Yes. Yeah.
But we'll get in. We'll get into that.
Yeah, and I have something to point out about that women's match.
But like, I want to see what Jacob is going to like. Obviously, I've seen him on, not to go off script, but and like MLW and stuff. Like his work is just great. I'm excited to see what he does in War Games inside the cage. Like all of them together. I mean, they're all telling a hell of a story.
Definitely, exactly. Then we have the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, versus the Street Profits. It ends in a disqualification. The WWE Tag Team Champions remain the Motor City Machine Guns after Tommaso Ciampa snapped and attacked the Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins looked determined and used their power advantage to gain momentum, but the veteran champions used their tandem offense to even the odds and keep the WWE Universe on edge. Ford scaled the ropes looking to capture gold, but Ciampa hit the scene and laid out Street Profits and to force a no contest. Ciampa looks like he's having a change of heart again.
I think he's going to turn heel. I want the black heart back.
Yeah, that was great, dude. In NXT, like his heel run was phenomenal.
Do we get a main roster feud between Gargano and Ciampa?
One would hope, maybe down the road.
Yeah, I think so. But I'd like to see him go after the U.S. champ. Not the U.S. What's on? Oh, we're talking about SmackDown. Yes,
yeah.
I'd like to see him to go after the U.S. title.
Yeah, I can see that.
I got confused for a second and forgot if we were talking about Raw or SmackDown. But yeah, I'd like to see him go after. I think I like Gargano, but Tommaso Ciampa has always been the Shawn Michaels of that group.
Yeah, I agree. Then we have the WWE Women's Champion, Nia Jax. She defeated Naomi. Nia Jax used a ton of chaos to retain the WWE Women's Championship against Naomi in the main event of SmackDown. The Irresistible Force used her incredible strength to overwhelm the challenger, tossing her around the ring and cracking with a devastating headbutt. The challenger withstood the damage and rallied in a big way, including hitting a rear view that nearly won her the title. During the battle in the ring, Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, it's Tiffy time, appeared and tried to help Nia Jax, but it nearly backfired after a spectacular counter from Naomi. Bayley hit the scene to even the odds, but Candice LeRae took her out too, allowing Jax to hit the Annihilator to retain the title. Jax retains against Naomi.
It's coming. Do you smell it? It's about to be Tiffy time.
That's right.
It is definitely about to be Tiffy time.
I didn't like her to begin with. She was annoying.
I didn't either, but
and then she's another cheerleader turned wrestler, and I thought she was a bimbo and thought she was just another pretty face, and then watching her wrestle, and I was like, holy crap, she's actually good.
Definitely.
She's just solid and hot.
Right? Two good qualities. And so, that wraps up SmackDown right there. Let's jump over to Raw.
All right. Monday Night Raw kicked off with Liv Morgan and Raquel with the in-ring promo that quickly descended into a brawl featuring the women's division. After Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae joined the heels in the squared circle, Bianca, Jade, and Io and Naomi interrupted, and this led to the return of Rhea Ripley,
who outlined her plans for the women's war game match and headbutted Liv Morgan. Now think, she came back with a face mask, one of the plastic, and nailed that headbutt to Liv Morgan, which was pretty cool. And then pretty much just a short and sweet segment that ended in a brawl, and the baby faces standing tall.
I'm thrilled about Rhea joining the team, the women's team. And I love, let me just also say this. I do love that they're having 5-on-5 this time for war games for the women as well, instead of the 4-on-4 like they did last year. However, let me just say this. I don't like that this was just thrown together. Because the match itself was just thrown together. Like, watch the TikTok video. I actually sent you earlier today. That lady is from that same lady I sent you the video of. She's talking about, like, how did all this come to be? I think it was her, at least. It might have been some other TikTok video, but they're talking about, like, how did Liv and Nia was feuding over for Crown Jewel and everything. Yeah. And then you bring in Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is all of a sudden, because Indy Hartwell's gone and Indy Hartwell got released, because that happened, Candice LeRae becomes with Nia and Tiffany. And how does, like, where did that relationship start? Like,
random.
It just doesn't make sense. And so I hate the thrown together matches just to have a War Games match.
Yeah, there's not much of a storyline to it.
Yeah, I mean,
the only storyline, honestly, I was gonna say the only
Rhea.
Yeah, it's like that's it. It's just Rhea and the Judgment Day or whatever they're called now, or even if they're the Judgment. I don't know what they're doing with that, but yeah, that's the only correlation. So
exactly.
Let's hope something good comes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it'll be a good match, don't get me wrong, but
well, see, like the War Games is supposed to be where you end feuds, but
right.
It kind of seems like the Bloodline one's starting to ramp up.
Yeah.
And maybe with this War Games match with the women, maybe there could be arcs off of that and start new feuds between females.
True, valid point.
It's a good way to think about it.
That's just my opinion.
So the rivalry between LWO and American Made continued this Monday when Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega battled Chad Gable and Ivy Nile. She's a beast, bro. She's so little and she's a beast. But Nile dominated the most of the match and worked over Vega throughout the commercial break. And when the underdog babyface mounted a comeback, Gable attempted to prevent her from making a tag to her partner. He failed, and Mysterio exploded into the match and took flight on the Olympians. Some great teamwork, and a frog splash later, LWO picks up a victory against American Made. So, what do you guys think of American Made? Are we getting like a Team Angle 2.0 kind of deal here?
Yeah, but they're burying them.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're making Brutus, I think is Brutus, making him look like a freaking complete goofball.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's his idea. I don't know. I don't have the pencil, but when they first started it, I expected a Team Angle-esque vibe. And their first feud against Wyatt Six, I thought was good. It built them up. But then now there's no direction.
Yeah.
And you have four great athletes that, if put in the right position, could excel. But, I genuinely feel like right now they're just spot fillers, which is unfortunate for them.
I agree.
Yep.
I thought, look, and don't get me wrong, they're not going to hold a candle to Benjamin and Haas. They're not going to hold a candle to them.
I got my own opinions about Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought they would be at least a good 2.0, but it doesn't seem like, like you said, they're burying them pretty much.
Maybe not burying them. I can't say they're burying them, and I'd like to retract that comment because they are giving them a spotlight, and they're not getting the crap beat out of them right now.
Mm.
But I just think maybe this is going somewhere. I'm not sure. I just hopefully Hunter or whoever's writing their segment just builds them differently than having Brutus be a goofball.
Right, exactly.
Because I feel like he's actually taken the Otis spot in whatever Otis and them were before. And that's just not fair.
I feel like this could be maybe like they lose, and you know how he like was on Monday after the match, Chad was like, Gable was like, kind of hitting him and whatnot and trying to motivate him. Like, I feel like he's going to have to motivate them. And then we're going to see like the dominance come out of, the dominance and monsters.
That could be a good point.
Yeah.
I like that. I'd like to see that. Maybe that's exactly what it is. Because he smacked the shit out of him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He smacked the dog shit out of him.
Yeah.
So, and then they all seem to come together at the end. So maybe that's where they're going with it.
Yeah, very well. Could be.
And then we get Sheamus and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Which was a grueling and hard-hitting match. Of course, Sheamus always,
banger after banger after banger.
He always puts on a banger, no pun intended. But, a great match. Of course, it got interrupted by Ludwig Kaiser with hitting Breaker with a clothesline, sent Sheamus into the steel steps, drawing a disqualification, and ended the match there. I think we're going to get a triple threat out of this.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I like that. And I also like Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Kaiser.
His name's weird, but yeah.
Well, no, it's not weird. It's just not a common name in the English-speaking language or here in America. It's
right.
Ludwig. Yeah. Anyways, Kaiser. I like that he's actually getting something. I hate that they broke them up and then gave Giovanni, like they built Giovanni up and then like jobbed him out. But whatever. I do like seeing Kaiser getting to actually be involved in something, and maybe a triple threat will come of it. And it'll showcase Kaiser. And I also Sheamus is another guy that you can just plug anywhere. And I mean he's a threat in the mid card, he's a threat in the tag team, he's a threat on he's like the lower end of a threat for like a championship storyline, but he's just one of those guys that can fit. He's very versatile, and it is a legit competition in anything he's in.
Definitely, most definitely. I think triple threat with these guys would be really great. I mean,
who wins it?
Everything you said, John. I mean, I completely agree with it. Like, give me a triple threat with them.
Mm-hmm.
But who wins?
Oh, who wins? I don't know. It is a tough one. I'd have to go Breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's only because they're building him right now for that. And it's not only because the dude, you have an established guy with Sheamus, and then you have two young guys. And I think they're making the right decision by building Braun up because he just oozes aura.
That he does, yes.
And I think they're going in the right direction. And given Ludwig Kaiser giving him the chance to, I think is great. But I'm gonna give it to my boy Rex Steiner. They need to change his name back to Rex.
Right.
He looks like a Rex. He doesn't look like a Braun Breaker.
Right, exactly.
God, that name is so corny.
All right, then we go into where we get an ominous video from Karrion Kross, also featuring The Miz, and they recap the recent issues between the Final Testament and the Wyatt Six.
Man, what a cinematic moment when Bo Dallas came on screen for just a quick second. I was looking at Bray Wyatt.
Absolutely, I agree.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "They're bringing in some old videos of Bray." I was like, "I love this," and I'm like, "Oh wait, that's Bo Dallas." And slowly but surely, he has embodied his brother. He's not becoming Bray Wyatt. He is becoming Taylor Rotunda, and he is becoming the image that him and his brother were. We're getting to see where they were going with that. I think the Uncle Howdy was a segue into what we're seeing now with Bo Dallas. I had this conversation the other day, and I'll try to touch on this briefly. And I was talking to Ryan earlier about Bray Wyatt. Maybe you know, maybe you all don't know, and I know the people that are watching this don't know me, but I deal with mental health issues, mental illness. Bray Wyatt put a face to the demons that I fight on a daily basis, and losing him, it was like a personal loss for me. And at the end of the documentary they had and brought, the lantern came back on and Uncle Howdy came up, it got the blood pumping. And then getting to watch them do their debut, every bit of it made me so happy. And then they kind of dropped the ball. And I think, and I'm not saying Bo Dallas and the Wyatt Six dropped the ball. I'm saying booking. But I think it was because it was so hot that they had to let the steam down. And in this past Monday's video was just breathtaking. I've watched it probably 600 times. And I love to see where this is going because another thing, Karrion Kross is so underrated.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be able to see the White Rabbit gimmick he had in Lucha Underground and the stuff we got to see in NXT, if he gets to do that with the Wyatt Six, it's something that I've wanted to see from the inception, but this is gonna cook, and this is gonna be like the bloodline on Raw. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep taking over your all's podcast, man.
You're good.
It's just
You're
I'm
good.
very
You're good.
very passionate about things that are specific to wrestling. And this takes me back to the whole psychology thing. Every little thing they're doing right now with the Old Testament or the Final Testament and the Wyatt Six, it's all about the details in this program. And outside of the bloodline, this is the next biggest thing, and you can't tell me otherwise. This is bigger. This is bigger than the WWE title, which I mean, even the women's championship is bigger than that. This is bigger than the World Heavyweight Championship title. This is bigger than any tag team match. It is literally, in my opinion, right under that bloodline, if not right there, and it's just beginning.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Completely agree, and I agree. Like, dude, yeah, going back and watching that segment from Raw, he looked seriously dead like Bray. Like,
I got goosebumps.
Completely, yeah.
I got
At like
goosebumps.
first glance, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
So, do you all remember? Sorry, I'm going to go off on a tangent. Do y'all remember when A-Team wrestled the Eaters of World? And Bo Dallas was dressed like Bray Wyatt. He was talking like Bray Wyatt with that little Coleman lantern. Dude, he sounded so much like Bray. And that's what we're getting to see. That's where, I mean, even though that was kind of like a corny take on it, but like it's been there that whole time. Yeah. I think it's crazy. I think it, man, let it cook.
Yes. Then we had the War Raiders versus Dominic Mysterio and Carlito.
The who?
The War Raiders.
They ain't been the War Raiders since they were
NXT.
in New Japan. No. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, they were that, but I mean,
when they first came to NXT, then they got changed, right?
Yeah, but they have you had the opportunity to watch their stuff in New Japan?
No, not yet.
You give yourself
go back
a
and
chance.
watch it.
Yeah, definitely. But Dirty Dom is a goat.
Yeah,
he's a young goat.
Dom is like he's changed a lot too, not just his hair and his mustache. I mean, like in ring, on the mic, you know, like he's the most over heel.
Undeniable.
Like
Cody Rhodes needs to take a page out of his book because I mean he can't control that they keep putting him against his dad. And like he'll talk shit about his dad and being a deadbeat, but Dominic is his own person. He does not associate himself with his dad. And most second, third generation wrestlers outside of like Randy Orton, Bo Dallas, and Bray Wyatt, a lot of them cannot get out from underneath their parents' shadows. And Dominic easily, when he did the Judgment Day, even feuding with his dad, stepped out on his own. He is his own person.
Yep.
And he's what carries the Judgment Day.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it's on. I mean, individually, everybody in Judgment Day is solid, but people pay tickets to boo Dominic. People pay tickets to see Liv Morgan's ass.
Valid.
Nobody, and no offense to. Sorry, let's get back to the match. I will go on and on and on about wrestling.
The War Raiders pick up the win over Mysterio, and Carlito, and then after the match, Balor and JD McDonough, also known as Lord Farquaad, attacked the Raiders. But did you guys notice that the War Raiders didn't get over with the crowd that much?
Because they're not over.
Right.
Will they be over again, or should I think they're better as a heel. Like personally, I love heel personas.
I actually enjoyed Ivar on his single run.
Mm-hmm.
Ivar was cooking.
He was, yes.
Ivar, like his match, like that for a big dude, that reminded me of Bigelow, because he was doing freaking somersaults or backflips off the top rope. I mean, that dude is so agile, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
I'm not saying break them up, but
he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal last year. So, I mean,
but that don't mean shit.
I don't think
not anymore. It used to.
Yeah. I was about to say not like it used to.
It's like the AEW Diamond Ring.
Yeah, don't mean shit.
Yeah.
And then we get a video package of Dakota Kai and her push to become a champion amid of her return from injury. Do you think they're going to break away from this damage control and put her on her own?
I think it's coming.
I honestly forgot damage control was a thing. Yeah, I get. That's probably when I, try to put my kids to sleep, or use the restroom, or read something on Facebook. I don't know, and that's rude of me. But I just, when it comes, it does not have my.
Being honest.
But I will tell you, damage control was more over than Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a heat seeker. Sorry, I'm a heat seeker.
I think we are going to get Dakota Kai to break away from damage control. I mean, it's already the Kabuki Warriors, is a thing. So,
just...
yeah. But do we get her as a babyface or a heel?
Yeah, she probably.
Babyface.
So, is damage control heel still, or?
No,
they're babyface. Yeah.
Yeah, they're babyface, and EOS with Rhea and them in the War Games match.
See, I don't know. So EO, and then the other girl is a Kabuki Warrior, right?
Yeah, Asuka's gone?
Yeah,
Kairi Sane is there. Bailey's done drifted away and back to her little role model gimmick or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back huggers.
Yeah, and then
yes,
I guess they're going to try and break away Dakota, which would be great.
Yeah, so if Kabuki Warriors are face, then Dakota Kai, I would assume, be heel, because if not, then what would be the
breakaway D4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just hope so.
Exactly.
I don't think she's women's champion material. She could be a speed champion.
Sure.
I don't know. They got so many women in this up there that they're doing absolutely nothing with. And a lot of the stories, at least in my opinion, don't go over.
Well, while we're talking about women, do we think that since they have created the Women's United States Championship, did we get a Women's Intercontinental Championship?
No.
No.
But they do need to make a
secondary,
secondary title for women. Intercontinental Championship should just stay. And maybe I'm misogynist, but I'm not. I just think that the Intercontinental Championship has been and always will be the workhorse, and the second biggest title next to the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's just more of a men's title. I don't know what you could do to make a women's title for a secondary title. They also need to redesign that title because it looks stupid.
The Intercontinental?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they go back to the original. Or not the original, but the Attitude Era one.
So do you see how they made the world heavyweight championship belt modern? Yes. They need to do that with the Intercontinental title. Kind of give it like I do like how they did the Intercontinental title with the blue on it. That gives both of the callback to the original and the
Attitude
Era one. I like that callback.
Yeah.
But if there was a more modern way to make one of those two look newer, I'd be all for it.
Of course.
And honestly, let's be serious. They're going to make a women's Intercontinental Championship belt. Yeah. And the person that should get that first, I don't know any other women. I don't know. Who's on Raw that are women?
I'd have to look.
I'd say with it being like a kind of a, the workhorse title, I'd give it to Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch isn't coming back. And why would you? Okay, I can't argue that. I cannot argue that she's not a workhorse. And she's established. So, makes sense. She's 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
But why not? Yeah, put it on someone that's established and then build somebody new. That way they could take it off of Becky.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm with it. You have the pencil, Brian.
Sometimes.
Go ahead, write it.
Sometimes I got it. But anyways, Bronson Reed, even the score with Seth Rollins in the main event of Monday Night Raw, though not without the massive assist from Solo Sikoa. Kind of like we touched on this earlier.
Yeah.
Is like it. I think he fits well with.
So, what do you guys think? With Bronson Reed being the 5th member for the new bloodline, who is the 5th member of the OG? Is it Seth Rollins? Is it Cody Rhodes? Or is it someone else?
I think it's someone else. I mean, as we're recording this, we kind of know, but that will be on next week's show. But I believe it's somebody else, and I believe we're going to get the Wise Man back. But if he don't come back as the Wise Man, we're going to get the Paul Heyman, of course.
Okay.
But I don't know. It could be one of his clients or something.
I see what you did there, buddy.
Could be a client.
I thought we were staying with kayfabe and not talking like that.
Just don't reveal anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
By the time somebody watches in the morning, they're going to know. But I was so grateful when what happened because I was just afraid it was going to be Cody or Seth Rollins. And I think it's a disservice to all 3 men for that because of everything they went through last year at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The whole point of Cody winning the title was to dismantle the bloodline and take, Roman's throne and whatever, and then have him team up with Roman made absolutely no sense. And then I'm actually glad that they did not have Seth Rollins in the oops, I just spoiled it a little bit.
Spoilers,
not Seth Rollins.
It's not Seth Rollins. But I was really hoping they wouldn't because I like the story between Rollins and Roman. Maybe is there a chance later on down the road they rekindle their bromance? Sure, but I don't want it to happen right now.
So it could still be Cody Rhodes. It could also still be Zilla Fatu. Who knows?
Dude,
They're
if
not
it's
ready.
Zilla Fatu, he's not ready.
Yeah.
I agree with that too. But
Yeah.
But I mean, he's making moves, and it's great to watch him go from, straight out of jail to, I mean, it's in his blood. No pun intended.
I mean, he
I
currently
mean,
holds
like,
3 championships too. So,
Yeah.
but that's kind of like everybody does a little belt collector gimmick type deal.
Yeah. He's not doing that gimmick though. He's not carrying all 3 titles everywhere he goes. Which is great. I'm glad. I can't wait for Zilla to come up, and it will be it'll be this time next year,
Oh yeah.
and we'll be still watching the Bloodline sagas.
Oh yeah, because this thing, like we've talked about this before on the podcast. The Bloodline. This could be the first ever. What was that?
It never ends.
Yeah, it legit. It could be the never-ending faction, the never-ending faction, because it's a faction that is has longevity to it because of the family members. I mean,
a legit bloodline.
Yeah, the legit bloodline. Yeah.
One thing I am worried about is it turning into the NWO.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the NWO, but how NWO burnt out real quick.
Yeah.
But this also has withstand time, because where NWO, everybody and their brother was in it, and it burnt out real quick in WCW, and it was the major blow to WCW, as where the Bloodline has already 4 years? It's going on 5 years now, right. And it's still fresh.
Yeah, and they always find a way to freshen it up.
Yeah, I'm really upset that they did not make Jacob Fatu the tribal chief.
Yeah,
I was bummed out by it.
Yeah, I think maybe eventually.
Brian's like, all right, let's get back on the subject, guys.
Well, that wraps up Monday Night Raw right there.
All right, let's move on to OVW Rise from this past Thursday. If you're listening to this was this past Thursday. As we're recording, it was just last night.
I was watching the wrong fucking one.
OVW Rise. None of this is going to be in any particular order. OVW Rise. None of this, like I said, is going to be in any particular order. We had OVW Rise kick off with. Actually, I just said that's not going to be in any particular order. But
I'm going to start at the beginning.
We had Eric. I forget his name, his last name. Eric Surge, versus I forget his opponent, but anyways.
Damn, you're really good at this.
All right, so we have Eric Surge, and he was taking on Ashton Adonis with Layla Feist. And actually, Ashton took and used I believe it was like a gold chain or a chain, and he originally won the match, and the referee caught him with the chain after the fact, restarted the match, and Eric Surge picked up the win here. What do y'all think about Ashton? I mean, and he's got this Layla Feist, with him, and what do y'all think about that?
I don't watch enough OVW to have an opinion on this. I apologize.
No worries.
I'm starting to come back around. Like I can't watch it on TV. I'm sure I could, or OVW is on what TV and YouTube and everything. I forget that it comes on Thursday nights. I'm used to being, if I'm gonna go, I'd rather watch it live.
Right.
There's something about being live at OVW that is it. It's like watching baseball on TV. You just can't get into it on the TV. You have to be there live.
True.
And it's the atmosphere of OVW. So again, I don't have enough knowledge to even give an opinion.
To even say, I got you.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you think he's going to be like there for, like, is he going to come to OVW for a while?
Ashton?
Yeah, and make a name for himself there? Or?
I think so. I think he's going to be someone that could be a valuable asset to OVW. And
I mean, from what I've seen, his ring work is pretty good.
Yeah, he has the looks and everything. I mean,
yeah,
for sure. We had AJZ versus Dustin Jackson, the new media champion. And this, I guess, it kind of came off of a fight that they were having in the back, and then they got thrown into a match. Looks at what happened. And so, AJZ versus Dustin Jackson, it ends in a double count out because these two just going to war, throwing hands. They had to be separated. And we'll talk about this in a minute when we get to doing our predictions for OVW Thanksgiving Thunder. But I don't know what's going to give. What's going to give between these two?
AJZ?
Between AJZ and Dustin Jackson.
I love Dustin, personally.
Dustin left and came back ripped, for sure.
Yeah, he did. AJZ left and
ripped.
came back looking like a whole different person.
Right.
Because when I went back a few weeks ago, I was like, that ain't that pretty boy, is it? He looks pretty. And I love that new look. He looks dirty. Not like a bad way, but like he looks gritty and mean. He looks heel. Yeah. Like when you look up the word healed, AJZ's face is right there.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I think he fits perfect with the Revolution too.
Who is this big titty blonde with an annoying voice?
She sounds like she smoked 7 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be
Katie Gannon.
Miss Katie Gannon. By God, Gannon.
Annoying.
She
Gannon.
reminds me a little bit of Jillian Hall. She gives me a Jillian Hall look.
Yes. Yep. Then we have a tag team match. The new tag team champions, Luscious Lawrence and Omar Amir, Beaches and Cream, taking on Tony Evans and Hush, Will Austin, with, of course, Jay De Niro with them as well. And Tony and Will could not get along during this match. And Beaches and Cream pick up the win here. Which leads us to Thanksgiving Thunder, where it's going to be a Jay De Niro on a pole match.
That sounds a little sus.
Jay
De Niro?
Jay De Niro on a pole match.
What are they going to do? Put the pole in the corner, stand him up there, and strap him around the post?
Right. No, seriously, though, what I think they're going to do is possibly put a contract up there or something. Whoever gets the contract gets Jay De Niro.
It's going to be like Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero over Dominic.
Are we going to get a turn from Jay De Niro though on Tony?
I feel like it.
Like, is that a girl?
Which one?
Jay De Niro or whatever.
No, it's a big, like 6 foot 6'5" dude, long hair.
The black guy?
No, he's white.
Like I said, I don't know enough about it, and I feel bad that you all brought me on here, and I don't know the product of OVW.
Don't feel bad.
But I feel like that match, the Fatal 4-Way or whatever it was for the national title, I feel like we've seen that from Jay De Niro.
Definitely.
When Tony told him don't pin nobody or anything.
Yes.
Now, does Revolution have all the titles?
Not anymore.
Yeah, not no more.
Because the last time I went, they all, and I'm pretty sure they all had the titles.
As of last week.
They have the heavyweight and Rush, right?
They have the heavyweight and Rush division, yes. And women's championship.
And the women's championship, yeah.
J-Rock or J...
J-Rod. J-Rod. Yep.
She's a beast.
She is an absolute beast.
And we actually had the pleasure of talking to her too, so.
Yes.
On the podcast?
Like in person, like she was supposed to be on podcast, but we had conflictions where she was in Central Time. We're in Eastern Time. So got confused there, but maybe in a future episode.
Yeah. Be tuned in for that, fans. Next match, we have Icon Lee defeats Boy Toy Troy. And we had Rust Division champion Star Rider was on commentary, actually. And after the match, they had a war of words because at Thanksgiving Thunder, we're going to see the Rust Division title on the line. Icon Lee versus Star Rider.
I'm going to put this out there. You're going to see Icon Lee get mollywopped.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Just saying.
Star Rider
can mollywop him.
I can't stand Icon Lee.
And that's because he's good at marketing. He is. So I don't know what he is at OVW, if he's a good guy or a bad guy. And I would assume he's a bad guy because that's who he is everywhere he goes.
Icon.
And yeah.
No,
and
he's a face.
He's a face at OVW?
Yeah.
God, that poor kid. He's so yeah. I don't really know. Hopefully he loses.
But I agree with you. He is a marketing genius. Yeah, I agree. Then we have Hota Peso, Maximo Suave, and Super Z defeated. I would assume these are some guys, some kids from the academy. Elijah Eros, Jack Painter, and Justice Davis, and Maximo Suave, Super Z, and Hota Peso pick up the win here. Not going to talk too much about that match.
ZDP.
Oh, I just seen Ashton
Where's
Adonis.
ZDP?
That dude is dope looking.
Ashton Adonis is a beast.
Then we have the OVW Women's Champion J-Rod facing Carter Kaufman. And Kaufman picks up the upsetting win here. Freya was out there, and I think J-Rod got distracted, and Kaufman picked up the win.
Freya the Cloud Slayer.
Freya is challenging J-Rod for the women's championship at Thanksgiving Thunder on Tuesday. Could we see a new champion? We'll get to that in our predictions here in just a moment. And then the main event of the night was the Mount Kadeem.
Oh, brother.
Defeating Cal Hero.
Bro, he is a keg standing on two Slim Jims.
Yeah. Dude is a, yeah. He's a mountain of man.
He is tall as fuck.
He is. So with that, let's bring up the Thanksgiving Thunder
all right
card here, and we'll talk about this card here. All right, we got the OVW Women's title match, J-Rod versus Freya the Slayer, defending against Freya the Slayer. Who are we gonna go with this match here?
As much as I like Freya, I'm going with J-Rod to retain.
I agree.
Is that the main event?
If it's the main, I'm not sure if it's going to be the main event or not.
I don't see anything else on there that could be the main event.
I'm thinking
it may be the main event
versus Tony Gunn.
Yeah. Well, why not give the ladies I mean, it's the heavyweight championship, so maybe they should give the women. Anyways, nonetheless, J-Rod.
All right. And so all going with J-Rod. And then we have a gentleman's agreement match, Cal Hero versus Tony Gunn.
Do you know the stipulations for a gentleman agreement match?
So I feel like I do, but and from what I understand, a gentleman's agreement match is it's based off like England, something from like England or something like that, and they have like I think 3 rounds or something.
3 5-minute or 3 15-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Or 3 5-minute rounds, something along that.
I was about to say 15-minute rounds.
Yeah, don't give me an Iron Man match. Shit.
Yeah. 3 5 minutes. I'm gonna go with Cal here.
I want to retract my first J-Rod Freya. I think Freya is going to win because they're going to want to send the fans home happy.
All right.
Especially if they're main eventing. With the Tony Gunn and the Kyle Hero match,
I'm gonna go Cal.
I don't know how the storyline's going, and it all matters to me because of the psychology. So I'm just picking these people not knowing anything. And hopefully I'm right. But I'll go with Tony Gunn.
I could see Tony Gunn pulling some antics in this one, but
definitely.
You know.
Definitely. Then we have a handicap match. Adam Revolver is taking on Shannon the Douche or the Dude.
You had it right the first time, the Douche.
Yeah, the Douche. And Leo Fox. I'm hoping Adam Revolver wins this match. Although I feel like Shannon the Douche and Leo Fox are going to win.
I like how they're building Leo Fox, though, to be honest.
I do, too.
They just gave Leo Fox a new title.
That's Shannon the Dude's or the Douche's
radio
title. Yes.
Okay.
It looks like a cardboard box with 2 straps, but yeah.
Bruh. It's a little corny looking.
See what happened. Adam destroyed the original radio title, heavyweight title.
Came from Toys R Us.
Yeah,
what a jerk.
We have the OVW media title match. Dustin Jackson defending against AJZ.
I'm going Dustin to retain.
Yeah,
it'd be cool for Dustin to retain since he just won it. But, maybe, just maybe, we'll pull in an okie doke and AJZ takes home the title.
There we go. All right. Then we got the OVW Rush Division Championship match. Star Rider defends against Icon Lee. Go with Star Rider.
Star Rider's mollywopping him.
Yeah. Star Rider.
Jay De Niro on a pole match. Will Austin versus Tony Gunn. Who gets Jay De Niro? I'm gonna say
Will Austin.
Will.
And Will Austin, is that who Jay De Niro manages?
No, he manages
Tony Evans.
Tony Evans.
Oh.
Yeah.
So quick question. I mean, that's probably rhetorical, but do you all watch OVW weekly, or how is it that you? I mean, I kind of figured as much.
Weekly, yeah.
And now, do you all attend, or do you all just watch it? YouTube?
I have been every now and then.
Kind of both.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with what you all are saying. Will Austin.
Then this next match, I feel like it's a thrown together match, but we'll go ahead and predict it anyways. Hollywood Haley J
Very
versus
thrown
Sophia
together.
Rose versus Crystal White.
Haley J with the win.
Yeah, Haley J for the win as well.
So there's no psychology to it.
That match is just thrown together.
I think it's just it feels just thrown together from what I know.
I haven't heard anything in the recent weeks about any three of these women right here having a match.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's just thrown on there to give fans an extra match to make them go home happy with Hollywood being a major babyface.
Well, there you go. I'm going to go with that too.
OVW Thanksgiving Thunder. It will be live from the Hotpoint Davis Arena next Tuesday instead of Thursday. I believe it's going to be actually a taping. Don't hold me to that. And
it is a taping.
Yeah,
it should be
a taping. Air on Thursday on Thanksgiving. So yeah, if you want to see it in person, everything is sold out except for general admission. So general admission is $10. Go to ovw6.com and get your ticket now.
Wait, there's more than just general admission now at OVW?
Yeah, there's ramp side A, ramp side B, ringside A, ringside general admission.
Oh, I just thought it was first come, first serve, unless you're on the rail with handicap.
Not the way they got it now. They got all sections. Since they remodeled it and stuff.
Yes, sir.
They remodeled it?
Yes.
Like as far as like the stage.
Oh,
area
the stage. Yeah.
Not as and then moved. Obviously, they moved the concession and stuff. But ever since they done that remodel part, they changed up the seating.
Oh, I guess I didn't pay that much of attention. I literally was there like a couple weeks ago. I think it was their third show back after getting their AC fixed.
Yeah, that's been
That was back in October, wasn't it?
October.
It was the week before. It was the week before their Halloween show.
Yeah.
And we could talk off the camera about that show. I was not too happy about it.
Right. Anyways, what other one you want to pop up? You want to pop up the
Let's talk about Grindhouse right quick. We have we always want to promote local shows, and even there's some promotions we promote their upcoming shows far away even as well. So let's talk about actually throw up Supreme first. We'll show some love to Supreme first. So you can catch Supreme Wrestling in Madison, Indiana. Check out Final Fridays. And that is check out Final Friday in addition to our every Saturday events, Saturday evenings. We will also host a live event on the final Friday of each month at the same location and time. Every Saturday night, Supreme Arena, 2520 Lanier Drive, Madison, Indiana. Doors open at 6:30. Bell time is at 7, and tickets are just $9. You can't beat that. Go out and support Supreme Wrestling.
John, I want to know that off camera.
And then let's throw up Grindhouse here. There we go. This Sunday, Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Live. This is over at the arena, 1416 Spring Street, Jeffersonville, Indiana. This Sunday, November 24th. Bell time is at 3 p.m. Tickets are just $10. And let's throw up those matches, and we'll just run down these matches right quick.
They got the HNICs there? Hell yeah. I love those guys.
We got the .com championship match. Techno Cowboy defending against Midnight.
Techno to retain.
Techno to retain. Yeah, I think so too. We got Robert Ketchum versus the Ghostmaker. I'm going to go with the Ghostmaker here.
Same.
Yeah.
We got John Wayne Murdoch versus Unforgiven Leo Grimm and Mr. Showbiz.
John Wayne
Murdoch. JWM.
Dixie Douglas versus Ollie Albright in a grudge match. I'm gonna go Allie Albright.
I'm gonna go Dixie Douglas.
Yeah, Dixie Douglas.
There you go.
She looks like a competitor.
She's actually the woman of the show. So,
hey Ryan,
yes,
it's our boys, Dark Clouds.
Dark Cloud will be in action this Sunday. Check them out at Grindhouse.
So they're no
They
longer
are
at
alumni of
OVW?
the show.
Nope, not right now.
Okay.
We've actually had to get on our show twice, and we just had Elusive Eric Darkstorm on it once,
as well as Bizzo, Tony Bizzo,
and Bizzo.
Thunder Kitty.
We have
I ain't seen
Thunder
that
Kitty
in a while.
versus the voluptuous Vanessa Holiday. I'm gonna go with Thunder Kitty here.
Same.
Yeah.
We have big time Ethan Heyer, our man, versus Too Smooth Eli Cruz.
Eli
Big time
Cruz.
Ethan Heyer.
Ethan.
Eli.
That's all right to have different opinions and predictions. We have the new tag team champions of Grindhouse, the Deaf World Order, the DWO, are going to be in action.
Huh?
The Deaf World Order.
Never heard of them.
You don't remember Jonathan Ramser right there on the left from OVW?
Yeah, it's Deaf World Order. I've never heard of them.
That's fine.
Never heard of them.
I get it.
I love John. John is a good dude. I love it. He posted something the other day. Was like, what do you all really think of me? And I was like, I said, what did I say? There's something about his mouth moving, but I couldn't hear him, or I don't know. I can't remember what I said, but he just he laughed at it and inboxed me, and we started chatting it up. Yeah, John's a really good dude.
Now I think it's time for our announcement. But
I'd like to go check it out for real. That sounds cool.
Grindhouse is fun, dude.
Before we get to that announcement, we do have something for next week, actually.
Uh-oh.
We don't have a flyer for it yet.
Well,
but we will have one.
What's next week?
You should know.
What's next week? What?
Huh?
What's next week?
Next week we have at 8 p.m. a Facebook Live next Friday with our fans of the month. We'll be right here on the Final Count. Netflix wrestler star Gracie and her father Wesley will be on the Final Count next week on Facebook Live. This is a new thing we have. It's called Fan of the Month or Fans of the Month. They're going to be on here, as well as next week is the anniversary show, the 1-year anniversary show with Mr. 502 Ace being on the Final Count, being the co-host here.
1 full year.
1 full year, and it's on to round 2.
Look at you, brother.
On
Many
to year
more
2.
to come.
Yes, many more to come. And so that's next week. But then we have another announcement.
Another one.
If I could get Mr. 502 Ace, if you can bring up that flyer here.
Oh, the one I made? I got you.
Yes. Yes, that's right. You see it. The Final Count presents Facebook Live, 8 p.m. live, December 20th. We will be joined right here by the one and only, the mammoth, Donovan Cecil, as well as an appearance by Santa Claus will be right here on the Final Count as well. And actually, kids will be able to get to come on the show if your parents allow, and let Santa know what you want for Christmas. So be sure to look out for that and tune in for that. Again, don't miss out on the exciting Final Count Christmas special with a special appearance by Santa Claus.
Big red jolly man.
The big red jolly man. So,
I think it's time to pay some bills.
Big things right here. Yeah, it is time to pay some bills. Let's go ahead and pay those bills here. Let me cue up some music here for us. And we'll pay those bills.
I'll pay bills around here.
We do. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use our promo code Final Count KY to save 10% at checkout. Again, that's Final Count KY to save 10% at checkout. And with more on Collar and Elbow, let's throw it to our good friend Al Snow.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
All right. And if you guys shop at WWEshop.com using our personal link in the description of the episode below, get you some fresh WWE's merch. If you want to yeet, if you want to be the OTC, if you want to be the Temu, you know, it's there for you.
Head over to jcountyABB.com now to get your official Final Count hoodie for only $45. It is getting cold out, so go get that hoodie. Or the first version of the t-shirt, which is only $25. Again, that's jcountyABB.com. Or you can also get our other version of the podcast t-shirts. And also more merch as well, including decals for cars. And that is at our website. Brian, let's go ahead and tell them about the website.
That is Square's site. Let me see here. It's on one of the things right here. Don't remember it off the top of my head. It's the finalcountky.square.site. You guys check that out and get yourself some merch, some car decals. Message me personally if there's something specific you want. We can get it made for you.
All right.
Don't forget to check out the audio version of the podcast. You can catch it on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and iTunes. We're pretty much everywhere on every platform, so you guys check us out.
That's right, and head on over to w.gg and use promo code FinalCountKY to save 10% at checkout. It is your taste buds' favorite energy drink. That is w.gg. Use promo code FinalCountKY. And there we go. What a awesome show here this week. Another exciting show. Glad to have our buddy, the Loudmouth Loose Cannon, John Clark.
It says it right there.
He almost botched it, brother.
It literally does, and apparently I can't talk.
Put this guy on Botchamania. Come on now.
What?
Yeah, John, thank you for coming on, brother.
While y'all were going through your reads, my damn mic stand broke.
Oh.
Just said,
I was wondering what's going on over there.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I mean, I've had this for 4 years now, so it's about time. So now I need to go buy another stand. I don't really care. It's all good.
But yes, it's been fun having you on, John.
Thank you all so much for putting me on here. When you reached out to me earlier, and I was just like, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because you don't hit me up that often.
Yeah.
And we had just talked. Okay, maybe we talk more than I thought we did.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking the other day about it, and I was like, "Yeah, man, if you ever need me, just let me know, and if I'm free, I said I'll jump on." And when you hit me up, I was like, I looked at my fiance and said, "Looks like I'm about to be booking a podcast." And then you were like, "You free tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, you all are scratching an itch that I need, and because I mean, like I went 2 years on my podcast and just stopped, and I kind of, whatever, things happen, but yeah, you're scratching the itch, and I think this start me to doing my podcast again with the other buddy about wrestling, ironically.
I love it, and I don't think this will be the last time, hint, hint, that you'll be back.
I don't think so either. I don't think this will be the last.
Good.
I look forward to it, and maybe become a new addition. I don't know. Maybe
we'll see what
stick
happens.
around, see what's going on with your buddy Chris. Speaking of which, what's going on with your fan?
With Chris,
Personal. Yeah, personal.
He's having some personal family happenings.
Okay.
I don't want to put it out there, but
all
wishes and prayers to him.
Yeah,
he'll be back
Thoughts
when
and
he comes back on his own time.
Yes,
We're not rushing anything there. This is something very serious.
Exactly.
Everybody send prayers his way. Check on him.
Yes.
If we don't get back, don't get upset because he has a lot on his plate. But we miss him here.
Yes, we do. And Chris, we've talked. Whenever you are ready to come back, you got a seat. You have a seat here for life. So
yeah, your seat will not be taken. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm not here to take your spot, buddy.
We may add somebody down the line, but not
we may add somebody.
You will
down
always have a seat.
Yes.
So I'm sorry I kept going off on a tangent, man. Like
worries,
sometimes I just forget that you're doing segments, and I'm so passionate about stuff, and go.
I'll put it this way, like I say every week: it's never bye, it's always see you later. You're never promised tomorrow. You never promised 5 minutes from now.
Yes. And with that being said, thanks guys for watching the show, and I hope you come back next Friday. Remember, next Friday will be a Facebook Live. As you're watching this on Saturday, this will be a Facebook Live next week, next Friday, 8 p.m.
for Friday night.
And as we say every week, we will see you down the road. 1,